Ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin', people? It's Xzavier Antonio. It's another episode of the In Conversation podcast where we are helping to tell other brands' story. And today we have with us somebody who I'm just glad to have in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey McAlister Jr., the FashionSense guy, and that's more of a title. The name of his company, though, is FashionSense Incorporated. Doing some major things there, Jeff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me in conversation. I'm humbled to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's more of our pleasure. You know, you stay in conversation. Your name rings bells in so many rooms, not just in the city, but you even get to travel to do some of the things that you do in the fashion realm, not just as a stylist, but, you know, being a model, whether it's being a runway model to being a promo model / actor, because you've been into some commercials, man, you know what I mean? / brand ambassador, getting invited to all these influencer events. Like, we gotta have Jeff come be a keynote speaker, or even just having his presence, man. So when and I said this in a video about you before, rubbing elbows with somebody like you is definitely a privilege. And I don't care how much we love ourselves and think that we're amazing, it still feels good when certain people like Jeffrey McAlister Jr. know your name, man. So, man, just you know, just running some of your background. Not only do you do like the modeling and operating as a brand ambassador and all of that, but you're really one of the bosses in the game. Being that you are a stylist and really, and that encompasses so much from being personal stylist to being, you know, a photo shoot stylist, and even when it comes to runway shows, your skills come into play a lot with that as well. And so let's talk about the fact that you were actually the director of production, and for Milwaukee Fashion Week. The first time you've been the director of production of anything, but that was pretty major, man, for you know, like for Milwaukee. You know, what does some of that entail? Like, what is your job as the director of production?
That was an honor to actually be the director of production for Milwaukee Fashion Week. That was in 2019, and I actually got to be a part of the board as well. So for me, it was actually a stepping stone of some goals that I had set for myself in reference to Milwaukee Fashion Week. So it came into play the way that I wanted it to. As far as director of production, it really was overseeing, because Milwaukee Fashion Week is 3 days. So I was the director of each night of the production. So run of show from beginning to end, designer order, assigning models, making sure hair and makeup is there, making sure all of that is coordinating with the DJ, making sure designers have submitted their music, checking in with MCs, finding MCs for the night. So it really is all the wheels that keep the show running each night.
Right. I mean, so that would kind of like make you, at an event like this, that's 3 days, first of all. That's a lot of days for an event.
Right.
And so for 3 days, you're the busiest man in Milwaukee.
Yes.
and typically you'd have like some type of assistant production people like that may help you in different areas. You know what I mean? So that's good. And so now we find ourselves, here we are, 2023. Because Milwaukee Fashion Week, did it officially take a break for a year or two or anything like that?
Well, it actually took a break after 2000. Well, we entered into COVID.
Okay.
So once that happened, it ceased, and then there's been some internal changes. So now there's a reemergence, there's a new branding, there's a new board. So this year, September 14th, 15th, and 16th of 2023, Milwaukee Fashion Week will make its emergence back into the community.
Yeah, man, this is going to be really big for our city. I mean, I think just an event like that, when we look at so many other markets, you know, New York Fashion Week and all these other cities that have these fashion weeks. Like, do all these weeks in these different markets kind of run around the same time typically?
They do, pretty much.
Okay.
They pretty much do, within a week or two, or sometimes in the same, but they usually try to stagger them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Milwaukee can't be left out. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
We already missed out on a couple years because of COVID or whatever, a year, however long it was.
Yeah.
And then it's good to know that you're back on the board again. So but you're not just on the board again. You're also a part of the actual operation on some of these event days.
Yeah.
So are you looking forward to being that busy again?
Actually, yeah. The break was nice, and it's a different team, so it's a different feeling, so it's a different level of energy. There are more people assembled together that I believe bring a lot of great moving pieces to make this be a successful fashion week. So I don't feel like the load will be as heavy, and everybody that is on there is carrying their weight.
Yeah, and some of these people, and most of these people, if not all, you've worked with before in some type of capacity, so you do know their capability of getting the job done. So we understand that, but it's still nerve-wracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you spend all these months planning a thing, and then when it comes down to game day, something's going to go wrong, or something at least is going to happen that when we look back and debrief, it's like, oh, it could have been better. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's always going to be that, but I can still see how it's like, some folks going to be sweating, some all kind of stuff. Yeah. But I know Jeff, right? I know FashionSense. First of all, I know you don't play. You know what I'm saying? I know that. So with that being the case, I think that the board, the team, and everybody's in the right hands with having Jeffrey McAlister Jr. On board. So if any rest of your team is nervous, tell them to holler at Xzavier.
Right.
I can remind them, calm down.
Right.
Jeff is here.
Exactly.
So but when the Milwaukee Fashion Week before was around 2019, that was the last one. But that's not the only thing you did in 2019. You had the lookbook that you did. That was 19.
Actually, no, that was in 20. So we were into the first year of COVID.
Okay.
That was, again, a great opportunity that fell into my lap. We were initially planning to do something as far as a holiday show in Cathedral Square.
Yeah.
Due to the restrictions on how many people could be in Cathedral Square, we could not do a show. So the idea was, well, let's just take this and shoot a lookbook and feature local boutiques, local designers and brands of color in the community around the city and promote this. And so through a fantastic partnership with the Downtown Business Improvement District, we were able to make this happen. So we worked with diverse models. We had boutiques from the Third Ward. We had local designers, Gigi's Collections, Andre Purdy. No Fingerprints, one of our more popular urban brands here in the city. So we just all got together and we shot different days. We shot on location throughout the entire city. And so the city was our backdrop.
I know that there's just so much, and like to the fashion realm, and so many parts to it. And I think that there are a lot of people that want to get involved, but there's just so much information. And so I think that so many of us have been waiting for Jeffrey McAlister to do some type of workshop where really begins to teach us. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we need to overwhelm as many black merchants as we possibly can, especially here like in Milwaukee. Like, he should have more than he can handle for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, force this man to try to figure out how does he serve so many people. So I definitely want to see us increase. And my point is just increasing patronizing as many black merchants, and Jeffrey McAlister is definitely one of those people who we ought to be showing support. Now, if you want to get an immediate look, at some of the things that he's been able to do for photo shoots and even for clients, wedding clients, and so on, definitely you can hit this man up. He's going to give you his information in just a second. But also, you should try to attend the Milwaukee Fashion Week, because not only is Jeffrey McAlister Jr. Overproduction again, right? And not only is Jeffrey McAlister Jr. on the board, right? But also the finale night, that Saturday, he's one of the, I don't think they're using the term headlining, but I'm going to use the term headlining. He's one of the headlining showcases on that finale night. So you'll definitely get a look at what this man can really pull off, and even whether do it for you, do it for somebody that you know, this, that, and the other. So how do the people get in contact with you, Mr. McAlister?
Well, first and foremost, if you want to reach me by email, it's fashionsenseguy@gmail.com. I have a Facebook page, FashionSense.
Right.
I have my Instagram which is JMac Jr. JMACJR03, and I'm also on LinkedIn for those that follow LinkedIn, and it's FashionSense Inc. on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So pretty much everywhere. Not a hard man to get in contact with.
Right.
And listen, even if you don't go looking for him, we gonna keep him in your timeline and in your news feeds. All right. So thank you so much, Jeff, for coming in. Like I said, it's been a pleasure.
It was great being out, as always.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Milwaukee, we own to something. Peace out.